Alright, welcome to the funniest UFC fighter scandals to ever happen. These are the times that UFC personalities done something crazy and it blew up on social media, blew up on Twitter, everyone was talking about it. It was the highlight of the day, highlight of the week. And some of them are crazy. But we're gonna talk about them. We've got five I'm gonna go through. And yeah, some of them were bad, but some of them were so funny. It was like honestly, I some of these days I wish I could relive the kind of Twitter feed. It was so good, like the reactions, the videos people were making in reference to it. Best things ever. But we're gonna talk about them. So before we do that, please like and subscribe. It really helps out. And yeah, so the first one we have is lifting weights by Conor McGregor, right? This was last July, July 2025. Conor McGregor was sending pictures to this musician, artist, Azealia Banks, this woman, and he ended up getting them leaked. She leaked them. And it's this picture of Conor McGregor, right? This was the full picture. Let's just say these shorts here, these are added, right? The picture is Conor McGregor in his like walk-in wardrobe, walk-in closet with a dumbbell attached to a rope, which is then attached to the end of his genitalia, which is erect. Uh, and there was a full photo. It was everywhere on Twitter. I remember going on Twitter, and I think I seen a post from like some MMA page being like, "Why is Conor McGregor like trending?" And then you look at it, and it's like, "Yeah, why is he trending?" And then you look at it, and you're like, "Oh, his dick was just there. It was just like that. It was." It was a sight to see. It really was. Conor McGregor had a dumbbell. He was lifting weights off the end of his dick, and it is one of the worst photos you ever see. And at this time as well, which made it so much more funnier, was that he was trying to run for president of Ireland. He was doing like he was always tweeting about Ireland and about how what can be done to save it and how corrupt the politicians are. And then you get Conor McGregor sending nudes, unsolicited nudes. Or no, I think they were solicited, but he was sending nudes to this other woman whilst he's married, whilst he's engaged rather, whilst he has four children. And these were the tweets because she leaked it, and she said all this stuff, like all these tweets basically saying uh like that he's like sexually harassing her and all this stuff. Ain't you trying to be the president of Ireland? And it's like it was so funny, and it's like how the hell does he do this? Where he's like he's married or he's engaged with four kids, and he is like a multi, you know, centimillionaire. He's a UFC legend, and he is going in his closet to send, and he's like tying a weight to the end of his dick. It was generally the funniest day on Twitter ever. It was crazy. There was a thing, and it was like maybe you've seen the video where it's like, you know, Ilya Taporia copies McGregor and a lot of things that he does. And then there was a video of like, you know, the video from Iron Man 1 where Tony Stark's like hammering the, I don't know, he's hammering the metal, right? He's building the first Iron Man suit. It was that video, but it was someone like captioned it like Topuria try to get it to bend the same way that McGregor's is, but that McGregor's dick bends because the photo, I can't find it anywhere. I don't want to, but it had a bit of bend to it. You know, it wasn't straight. It was a bit, you know, it kind of bends left or right sometimes. It was bending, right? It was quite, it was bent. Yeah, one of the funniest days ever on Twitter. Next, we have Dana White Power Slap preview, right? This is before Power Slap came out. Dana White thought he'd give us a sneak peek at Power Slap by using it, by having Dana White versus his wife a couple months before the first Power Slap event. So this happened New Year's 2023, so 2023 going into 2023. Dana White was at like some nightclub, some New Year's Eve event, and it was caught on film that he got slapped by his wife for whatever reason. I think they were like drunk. She slapped him, and then Dana White bang slapped her back. Right, just he had to show that he was really about the power slap game. And this was the picture. This is the picture Dana, she slapped him here in the bottom right, and then he slapped her back, and it was like a whoosh, it was a pretty good slap. If you've seen the video, it was pretty good. And basically, what happened because of this, uh, because literally, I believe this. So this was in New Year's 2023. Power Slap's first event was supposed to be like January the 18th, 2023. Literally, like less than 3 weeks after this happened, and they had to like postpone it like by like a month or something because of it. Because it's like, maybe we shouldn't do a Power Slap event right after Dana White has slapped his wife and it's like going mega viral. That doesn't seem really that doesn't seem very smart to be doing that. So they had to postpone the first Power Slap event. I remember that. It was really funny. But yeah, Dana White giving the sneak peek on Power Slap, that was a funny day. That was a really funny day when that came out. And oh, just because it's Dana White, it's like whenever Dana White, the video is just funny. It's the way he like retaliates and he's like does just like so fast. Yeah, great. That was a great video. But anyway, next one we have is Adesanya dog. Now this scandal was actually, we hadn't seen this until like it was already out there, but it took a while to kind of come to light, let's say. So Adesanya, this was about maybe 3 years ago or so. Adesanya was outed by the MMA guru. The MMA guru kind of brought this to light because not many people kind of had put the pieces together. But he done a video summing up basically that Adesanya was like some dog fetishizer, right? He fetishized dogs, in many ways. There was a video from like, this is from like 2016 or 17 or something like that. This is an old video. And basically Adesanya's lying with his dog and touching the dog's dick. He's literally like fiddling with his dog's dick, and it's like, what? Who does that? So there was that video. There was like a bunch of other stuff. It was like he was following accounts. He was following dog fetish accounts or something like that, where there was like a girl who cosplayed as a dog and would like eat food out of a dog bowl. He was following accounts like that. He was on a podcast saying stuff about having intercourse with dogs or something like that. It was really weird. And then also, this was at the UFC 287 when he fought Pereira in the rematch. He wore a dog collar to the press conference. And I just remember when all this came out, it was like, wait a minute, what the fuck? Like, Adesanya is an actual freak. He's actual like, a disgusting freak with dogs. And I bet some of you remember when he was scheduled to fight Dricus du Plessis. Remember Dricus du Plessis at the press conference said like, no one said anything about dogs, bro. Chill out. Like that stuff. That was funny because Adesanya said, I'm the underdog. I'm gonna something about being the underdog, and then and then Drix is like, nobody said anything about dogs, bro. Chill out. And that was funny. That was a reference to this. Yeah, but after this Adesanya dog thing, I don't think many people have like been able to look at Adesanya in the same way just because of the nature of it. Like he is his bestiality at this point. You know what I mean? So it was like crazy when this came out. Next, we have John Jones arrest 2021, and I put 2021 in brackets because obviously John Jones has been arrested many times, but this one was extra special because he gave his wife the Dana White treatment and then some. Basically, what happened was in 2021, believe this was in September 2021, the UFC held a like an award show. It was right before the UFC. What was it again? UFC. Oh, if my memory serves me correct, UFC 266. I think it was. It was the one where Nick Diaz fought. September 2021. Right before that event, like the day before, they had an award show for like they give out the awards for the International Fight Week because of something to do with COVID, so they had it in September basically, and they gave out all the awards. John Jones got an award for his fight with Gustafsson, I believe, his first fight with Gustafsson, and so he got an award for that. It was like a Hall of Fame, and it had come out like a couple days after, like a week after, that right after that award show that night, he went back to his hotel room with his family and like he obviously had a couple drinks and started like he maybe arguing with his wife and then beat his wife. He like beat his wife like badly. Like there was on the police report there was like blood on her. There was blood on her lip. His kids like called the police on their own dad. And then John Jones had to flee. He fled when he was drunk, and he was eventually caught by the police. And this video is on YouTube. You can go and look at this video on YouTube. It's John Jones getting arrested, and he's like he's drunk as anything, smacking his head off the car. The video is really funny because it's literally him like going berserk, like at the police officers. He's just hitting his head off the bonnet of the car, and it was kind of crazy that John Jones, like he had vacated like heavyweight in 2020 and he's just doing all this stuff, and then this kind of solidified the whole like John Jones is like this like wife beater, and he is very volatile. He's a very he's got a lot of demons, as people would like to say, as he would like to say. He's got a lot of demons, but the demons made him perform WWE moves on his wife. So and then this was them like later on, and this was always really awkward when this happened. This is when John Jones beat Cyril Gann, and his wife was in the octagon after, and everyone was like, "What the fuck?" It's like it's so awkward. But anyway, yeah. So that was John Jones, and then the last one, final one for today, we have Bryce Mitchell fishing with Hitler. This was maybe not as funny as the McGregor one, but it was like on second to that. Basically, in January 2025, it came out that Bryce Mitchell made like a podcast. He started his own podcast series, and on literally the first episode, he's like talking about saying like Hitler's a good guy, or he wasn't a bad guy at least, and Bryce Mitchell would like want to go fishing with him because he thinks he's a chill guy, and saying like just basically saying like everything you're not supposed to say about Hitler and the German military in 1945 or 1940s or whatever, and basically he was giving all the support to them. Saying he wanted to go fishing because maybe it'd be cool. And the funny thing was, this podcast came out a week before anyone realized what it was going on, right? The podcast had come out a week before, and then like a week after, it came out, like news sites actually found it, because it probably only had like a couple thousand views, because it was on like a fresh YouTube channel that he made specifically for the podcast. And when someone found it, it was crazy. Like that day on Twitter, it was like everyone just making memes about it. And then on that day, I think it must have been a Tuesday or something like that. It was like a weekday, because Dana White, that same night that it came out, there was like a power slap event, and he went to he had like a post event press conference, and one of them asked like, oh, what do you think about it? Or no, it wasn't even that. He didn't even get asked. He had it prepared. Dana White had a statement prepared for what Bryce Mitchell said, because he said something about the people you're never supposed to say anything about. Dana White had literally was like, what Bryce Mitchell said was disgusting and all this stuff. He literally had a sheet of paper going like reading out Germany's statistics during World War II. He was reading out Hitler's KD, saying like, 6 million, and like whatever, 40 million dead in Europe and all that, 6 million other people dead. Like, you know what I mean? He was reading out Hitler's KD, Hitler's rap sheet, and I actually was thinking, is Bryce Mitchell he's gonna get fired from the UFC? We're gonna be seeing Bryce Mitchell at fucking Bellator, PFL, right? That's what I was thinking. I was like, shit. And then obviously Gene Silva came in and was like, Bryce Mitchell fight me, and they ended up fighting. Obviously, Gene Silva won, but such a funny day when that happened. It was like Bryce Mitchell's the GOAT. Sometimes he is the GOAT. It's undeniable. But yeah, that great day that. But anyway, that's the video. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe. It really helps out. If you have an opinion about any of the things I mentioned today, any of the scandals, or anything I said, please leave a comment below. Let me know what you think, and I will see you later. Bye.